Hello everybody and welcome on back to Bloodborne and Old Yharnam. The only thing I did in between the last one and this one was head over back to the Hunter's Dream to refill on our blood vials and gunshots. Kind of happens automatically after travel because you get them from the storage, and then I also infused our weapon with that second blood gem infusion. What are they actually called? I keep forgetting that. Gemstone. I infused it with another gemstone. Now that the maniac at that Gatling gun is out of the picture, it's time to do this the way it is slightly easier. And generally speaking, a bit more enjoyable also. For the third time, maybe even fourth time, we're gonna come through here, heal these baddies. Charged heavy on his ass. Another bloodstone. Gemstone. Why am I saying bloodstone? 1.4. Decent. Gonna go down. Kill these guys yet again. There we go, with those baddies out of the picture. We can, yet again, go for this drop. Gonna go into the building for the big guy. Okay. Charged heavy into trick form swap works really well. And now we're gonna go to the left. Out to these guys. The maniac on the gun is gone. We can take our time. Kill these guys without being scared of the Gatling gun. Of course, if you throw a Molotov on these bad boys or hit them with a torch, they will explode, so do watch out. But you can use them to your own advantage, doing it that way as well. Gonna be a bunch of crows. We want to throw a Molotov just to make it a bit easier. For some bloodstone shards. That was really loud. Normally you would come through that other way, so this guy wants to surprise you, but coming this way, he's a bit confused himself. He's like, oh, what? What happened there? Well. Come on. It's only fire, right? It's only fire. Oh, well, I guess you hate fire. Can head in here. For blood-tinged gemstone. Kind of sounded like another baddie was coming our way. We can look at the gemstones when we're done here instead. Here's gonna be a bunch of baddies, so be a bit careful. There's a bunch of them kind of sleeping. And there's a bunch of them like from behind as well. So walking around with a torch like this always helps. Stop that. More gemstones. Take care of him, and then there's gonna be another sleeping baddie here. I like taking care of that guy first, because he can infuse poison. Oh, well, really going with the same kind of motif there. Dude, that actually explains it. It's the same Scourge. It's the same guys, but they're just hooded. Cloaked, rather. They have the same moveset. But those guys deal poison. Anyway, you can see that that guy has seen us. Wanting to come our way. Dude, I'm getting so many freaking gemstones. I can't remember getting this many. Oh, well, there he is. Well, hello. This guy is luckily a little bit easier to deal with. You can pull him all the way here. For some easy damage, and then he's always going to dash back. But there are some other baddies around, so... do keep that in mind. Stop the lunging attack. How did that not hit? Well, you can't go that way, so stop that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Still definitely packs a punch. Really? He's fighting the same way. No. Don't do that. Really need to concentrate for the hunter fights. Come on! There we go. Whew. His friend is now gone for some bone marrow ash, which is very, very useful. Gonna come into play a bit later. And I also now remember that there was something that I forgot about. We're gonna have to do with that a bit later. Come down here first. Take out him. We're gonna drop out this way a bit later, but we might as well just pick up the Cold Blood Dew. Hello. And this is, of course, where the ladder takes you. Then over here, by these crows, you're gonna see that there's a potential drop you can take. So we can roll off there. Roll off there. We can drop. Then we can drop again. And we can go inside there. And if we take a quick peek, we're gonna see that there's gonna be a bunch of freaking baddies in here. So we can be a bit quiet. You hear them? They're wandering about up there. We can try to take that guy out first. He's gonna be the most deadly. This is basically a bait. You would be coming in here, you're like, oh, a chest, let's take that. And then, yeah. As you can see, you're in for a pretty bad time. There's many of them. And they don't mean well, trust me on that. Be a bit careful. Use the longer end of your weapon. Please, I'd recommend it. They're gonna be circling around here. They wanna go back up. They can't really decide. Deal with Big Eye. And his friend. The way they're pathing is just so funny. Like, nobody really looted that chest? Come on, Jimmy, you placed it there. You promised me that someone was gonna go for the chest. Well, damn. Now I will. For another gemstone. And of course, over here, for some blood vials. Can never have too many. Now we want to go up. It's really freaking dark, so make sure to keep your torch out. And if you sprint through here, you might make a mistake of not looking over to your right. For this goodie, which is the rifle spear. For a note up here as well. The red moon hangs low and beasts rule the streets. Are we left no other choice than to burn it all to cinders? Very good question. Then over here for the charred hunter garb, which is basically, yeah, I mean the hunter attire that these guys were wearing while they were here and then they burned to death. It's gonna give us extra fire protection, but there really is no real like fire damage threat in this game unless you would go into the chalice dungeons, which we will speak of a bit later, and that leads us out there, basically leaving this little area all done with so we can proceed further. I think that is only 2 hunters over here. We can also see this gate. It's gonna be another little shortcut that we can activate. But instead of heading in that way, we can climb up again. And we can go for this little drop over here to the side. Over here. We can drop. There's gonna be a baddie here. We can creep up to him. Hit him with a charged heavy and a visceral. Gonna be a bunch of these guys in here. We can come out this way. And if we take a look down, we can see that there's gonna be so many baddies here. But what you can do is you can come out this way. You can hit that. It's gonna drop an explosion and ignite a nice fire for us down there, making it just a bit easier to traverse that area. And when we want to be careful going out in these. Try Madman's Knowledge. We want to proceed. Or no. We want to drop there. You see like a little alcove there, but we'll get to that. We're gonna drop here for now. Yeah, so they've noticed our presence. For some cocktails, we can try to get this jump. It is a bit tricky. You need to jump, can't roll in order to get that. We obviously failed, so can't do much about that. What we can do is we can drop over here. And then we can drop here. These guys are all very scary. They don't like us being here. Yeah, so that is us getting poisoned by slow poison. There's rapid poison and there's slow poison in this game. Both of them are deadly. Obviously, the rapid poison is a bit deadlier. We will get to that as we're getting to the end of this. Don't walk into the fire. That's stupid. We want to take out all the baddies that are down here first. As you might have noticed there, he was also a bit afraid of fire. And there's a big guy in here. Another Madman's Knowledge. I think we killed all of them down here. Now we're gonna walk back up. We also want to try to get that item that I missed. Over to the left here, there's a baddie. To the right, rather, excuse me. Baddies freaking everywhere in here. And this is this little alcove I was talking about while we were up there. So get some antidotes. Back up. For more baddies, who would have thought? We dispose of them. More antidotes. And you guessed right, more baddies. Take care of all of them. And now we want to do this yet again. We want to try to get that loot. Oh no, we can actually only access that from above. But anyway, we can come this way. We can drop here. Then we can drop again for another goodie. Some Cold Blood U2. So we actually have to circle all the way back around for that. We'll do that in just a bit. We'll proceed this way. Yeah. That's a big ass monster that's getting toasted. A very big beast. Ritual blood from over here, which we will be able to, which we will need rather, if you want to go to the Chalice dungeons. We can head left first. For some more crows. Toss a Molotov if you feel that way, making it a bit easier. Stop that stuff. Getting so many antidotes here. More bloodstone shards from this side. See that over there? We will be able to get to that, but not just yet. Come down to this left-hand side here. This is the path for progression, but we're not gonna do that just yet. We're gonna go in here for this ladder, which is gonna lead us to that gate that we saw by the ladder that we take up to the Gatling gun guy. For a nice little shortcut so we can get down here just a bit faster. if we would end up dying, or, you know, we just want to reset our blood vials or bullets. And now we can try for that little jump trick again. Or not a trick, it's just a jump, but you have to be kind of precise on the jump to get that loot. And as always, we want all the loots. You can only access this by going that way. So you're a little bit above where you would normally enter. Head out here. A drop. And we jump. Yes, we got it. For a bloody messenger head bandage. Very much like the red messenger ribbon that we picked up. This one is basically just another accessory that we can put for the guys in the baths. So it's like not super important, but you know, like loot is loot. Loot is loot. We can come out here again, drop there, and then we can drop again. Circle back around. And now we'll go for some progress. We'll come out this way. And here we can be a bit careful. There's gonna be a bunch of sleeping beasts. But there's also gonna be one of those little nightmares over on that side over there. So we wanna be really careful. We don't want to get unnecessary attention. We want him. Take him out. And now we can take care of these guys. Pop the torch out just so they don't overwhelm you in the same fashion. Doesn't stop them entirely, but makes them less eager to just mercilessly murder you. Think that's the lot of them. Or? Yeah, I think so. Killed him there, yeah, good. Now we can come down here and there's gonna be a bunch of wolves. Werewolves, I guess. More pungent blood cocktails. Two of them here. Make sure to get their attention one at a time. Gun parries, of course, will always work. These guys are a bit feistier than the ones we were used to. Dude. Stop that. Beast blood pellet from him. We will read up on that a bit later. And if we would go this way, we're gonna come over to a big gate. This gate we cannot open. We will be able to open that a bit later, but unfortunately when we are able to open it, it won't really serve us very well. We don't have any real use of it. But you know, just gonna mention that as we're going through. This whole place is gonna be filled with werewolves. Lovely, isn't it? Come out here, we can head over to the left first. If we look up, we might see a little werewolf that wants to surprise us. He's hanging up there. So you would go in here, you get the loot. It's gonna drop down. He's a bit slow, luckily. Get some nice beast blood pellets. We can still just take him down. Be ready for the jump scare. Oh, mama, I still actually got scared. Oh man, Bloodborne. You always surprise. I even knew what was gonna happen and still I got scared. That's just too funny. We want to go in here though. Pull out the torch. Don't know if there's any loot down here. No, there isn't. We're gonna go all the way up. No loot there either. But there is loot here, and another baddie. More bloodstone shards, always useful. We want to go all the way for this gate. Now we can come through that like first drop path that I showed you, leading us to that little nightmare and getting us the hunter torch. If we would go that way, we have another nice shortcut that we can use. But still, we want to go all the way back up for some more fire paper. And roll down to the stairs, save some time. And now we can proceed. Oh, nothing there, yeah? Yeah, right. So behind this little smoke wall, there's a baddie. Can go in here. Kind of get behind him. Because he's gonna slowly creep up to you if you don't go that way while you're fighting that werewolf. There he is. Getting so many drops. Love that. We have a bunch of blood echoes as well. Bunch of bullets. Always nice. Oh yeah, and there's another little nightmare. Want to chase him down. These guys always gives you upgrade mats. Much like the crystal lizards in Dark Souls. Old Hunter's Mark over here. And was there anything more? Don't think so, actually. Yeah, we took that. We took the bullets. Right, then we can head down here. And in there is going to be another boss fight. But before we do that, we want to circle to each side, like both the left and the right side. There's going to be a baddie hiding. What we want is the loot, of course. There's one baddie. Now if we go over to this other side, gonna need to be another baddie somewhere, but where is he? There he is. Bit tankier. More cold blood dew, and here's another one. And if you come through here, you might notice this as well. This is a summon sign for Alfred, so he can come in here and help us in this boss fight, if we would want him to. I don't know if it makes the fight easier or harder, as summoning makes the boss actually have more HP than usual. There's a couple of ways you can take care of him. I would still recommend you having some antidotes on, as he can get you poisoned. But one thing that is extremely useful is the fire paper. Coarse paper that applies fire to weapons when rubbed. A hunter tool found in the Healing Church workshop. Since the tragedy that struck old Yharnam, fire has become a staple in beast hunts and is thought to cleanse impurity. Certain types of beasts have an abnormal fear of flame. So we want to put that on, and also what you can do is that you can go in here and throw some pungent blood cocktails. We'll read up on that before I go further. Mature blood cocktail that releases a pungent odor when thrown that attracts bloodthirsty beasts. A precious tool in sadly short supply. In Yharnam, they produce more blood than alcohol, as the former is the more intoxicating. So this boss fight in here, this guy is a very, very hungry for blood. So you can go in there, basically throw these cocktails on like a wall, and he's gonna be going over there all the time, checking out. I might actually just put him on once, so I can show you how that looks like. Not much more to say, we're just gonna buff up. Be ready for some cocktails. We're gonna head in, and what we can do is we can stick to this right side. Blood-starved beast. So you might think he's starved for blood. We can throw a cocktail over there, and as you notice, he will just be creeping up to it. He will be attacking it ferociously. We can hit him with the fire paper, as we deal so much freaking damage with that. He's a bit fast, so be a bit careful of how you do this. Throwing them at the wall is usually gonna work. If you're lucky, you might get behind him for a visceral. Like that. He's gonna be pouncing about a lot, so just be a bit ready. Sticking behind him is usually gonna be the best way of going about this. Now that this happens, he's gonna start releasing poison. And he's also gonna deal poison damage. So you can, of course, buff up again if you feel the need to. It's like a poison vapor, if you will, that he's releasing when he's just hurtling about. Oh my god! He almost killed us there. And oh god, it's poisoned. But yeah, as you can see, with the fire papers and if you use the pungent blood cocktails, they kind of trivialize this fight, making the bloodletting beast seem rather easy. But killing him gets us that chalice. We can take a quick look. Where is it? There. A Tumeru chalice. Ritual chalice found in the Church of the Good Chalice. Used in a ritual at the tomb altar in the Hunter's Dream to break the seal of the old underground labyrinth. Let the chalice reveal the tomb of the gods. Let blood be the hunter's nourishment. And let ye partake in communion. So with this item, we can now access chalice dungeons, basically. It is not necessary for like actual game progress, but there is a bunch of extra content that you can do down there. You can get a bunch of nice weapons, even some attires, and some extra feisty boss fights if you would want to go down that way. I haven't quite given thought to if I want to do that. I think for now we will be skipping that out, and I might just do that at the end of the game maybe. But if you want to go into the chalice dungeons, they can become very boring, let's just put it like that, because there are a bunch of them. You're going to go down there, like with this chalice dungeon, there's always going to be 3 layers. You're going to go through the layers, you will get rewards, you will get more chalices, letting you get even further down in the chalice dungeons. So I would maybe recommend you to actually just go into the first one now, finish that one out, do some like real in-game progress, maybe come back then, bounce in between them like that, to make each of the sections of the game more enjoyable. At least that is what I would recommend. Anyway, that wraps up Old Yharnam, and we're gonna warp back to the Hunter's Dream. Reaching the Hunter's Dream, we're gonna wrap this one up as we have a bunch of blood echoes and some upgrades to check out, and maybe even some items to read up on. But more of that in the next one. I'll see you guys then.